One single strategy for both PTE Retell lecture and PTE summarize spoken text. One single template for both PTE Retell lecture and PTE summarize spoken text. Meaning you don't need a separate strategies for these two modules. If you have one strategy, one particular approach and single template, you should be able to get full score, meaning 90 out of 90 from your Retell lecture and summarize spoken text. Want to make most out of this video? Make sure you watch the video till the end. Hey everybody, Nakul here from SKILLS PTE Academic. Really hope everybody is doing fantastic. I'm back with yet another super awesome power-packed video on PTE Retell lecture and summarize spoken text. One template, one strategy for a 90 out of 90. Well, before we get into the video, if not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. Anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance. You can check the information in the description of this video. We left a WhatsApp link. You can click on the link, send us a message. We will do the needful. Also to tell you, recently we released our 3 official ebooks. First was PTE speaking cheat code, second is reading cheat code, and the third is match winning approach to PTE. If you don't want to miss out on the contents given in these ebooks, which are proved to be beneficial for a 90 out of 90, the links are in the description. You can click on any of the links and buy it as a combo and avail some discount as well. Alright, without any further delay, let's straight away get right into the video. When we talk about PTE Retell lecture and PTE summarize spoken text, they both look almost similar. The only difference between them is, yes, Retell lecture and PTE summarize spoken text both will have an audio. You have to take notes. When it comes to Retell lecture, you cannot take notes in the computer because your computer screen will be disabled there. You cannot do much. You gotta write the notes, take the notes in a erasable notebook and a pen that is given to you. That's the first difference. But in summarize spoken text, either you can write directly down in the space given in the computer, or you can note down in an erasable notebook and a marker that is given to you. This is the first difference. The second difference is, in PTE Retell lecture, you gotta speak once the audio ends, probably after 10 seconds. But in summarize spoken text, you gotta write. In PTE Retell lecture, grammar doesn't matter because speaking skill is tested. Your grammar skills are not being tested. But PTE summarize spoken text, your grammar makes the most difference. Your spelling makes the most difference. Here, you gotta write. Remember only these three differences: the strategy with which you take the note, the strategy, the approach with which you look into the audio and do stuff, everything remains the same. And most importantly, one template is enough. Let's say you got 3 Retell lecture questions, 3 or 4 summarize spoken text questions. You can still use that single template. In that way, it has been framed. Now let's talk about that single strategy. Let's also talk about the strategy that you should not be using for your PTE Retell lecture and PTE summarize spoken text. What most of the people end up doing is using keywords and finishing it off. Your speaking could be still 90 if you use just keyword, comma, keyword, comma, keyword in your PTE Retell lecture, but listening will go down. The same way in summarize spoken text, your listening and writing both will go down. You just use keywords, meaning let's say Retell lecture contributes some 5 to 6 marks, meaning from one Retell lecture or from one summarize spoken text. You use only keywords. You're not writing sentences. You're using a template which has dash, comma, dash, comma, dash, dash, comma, dash, comma, dash. You listen to the audio and just write some 17 or 16, 10, 12 keywords. Your speaking could be 90, your listening will go down. Meaning you may get probably 2 out of 5 or 2 out of 6 and not 6 out of 6. Same way goes for summarize spoken text. Instead of getting 6 out of 6, you may end up getting 2 out of 6 or 3 out of 6. So then what is the way out? You got to write phrases. But it is so difficult for me to write phrases or sentences. How can one do it? I'm going to show in detail today on the note-taking strategy, but the point is very simple. You got to listen and then write. Listen and then write. Pay more attention to this subtle theory. The concept is you will not do 2 things at once. It's like how the processing unit in your computer works. If it's a single core processor, right? It takes the input, does the output, takes the input, does the output. But in no time, it does these 2 simultaneously. But it does this so fast that it looks that it is doing a lot of things at once. No, it is switching. Do. Take one, do one. Take one, do one. In milliseconds time, it is switching. Similarly here, 2, 3 or 4 seconds, you listen and now decide what to write. And then close your ears, start writing for 2, 3 or 4 seconds. Again 2, 3, 4 seconds, 4 seconds or 3 seconds, listen, then 3 seconds, 4 seconds, write. Listen, write, listen, write. Do it so fast that it looks that you're doing everything simultaneously, but you're not. You're listening for some time and then writing for some time. When you listen, don't write. When you write, don't listen. This is the concept. If you're listening and writing at the same time, then possibly you will say, I'm not able to take phrases, I'm not able to take sentences. If you just divide them, if you just do it one after the other, like I'll just show you in just a while, it becomes actually easy. And this is what is the strategy for both Retell lecture and summarized spoken text. And this, if you understand and execute 100%, you don't need to practice much for both Retell lecture and summarized spoken text, because with one stone we're gonna hit two fruits. Hope you are getting it. Now we will continue with the PTE Retell lecture. I'll explain that. Then we come to summarize spoken text. Then we start taking the practice audios that I have. When it comes to PTE Retell lecture, the first step is to take down the notes. And now when you take down the notes, make sure you write some sentences, and once the audio ends, you will have 10 seconds. After that, you got to speak. Now when you speak, hey, don't worry about grammar, man. Imagine it's a read aloud. In the read aloud, what are you going to do? If there are mistakes, will you correct it? Of course, no. Well, there won't be mistakes, but if there are mistakes, you will not be correcting it, isn't it? So here as well, whatever you have written, just speak. Very soon I'm going to show you that scenario as well, wherein a person has written some wrong sentences, meaning wrong in terms of grammar. Even though it is wrong, the person has to stand firm, decide on this, and just speak even though it is wrong. Grammar doesn't matter, logic doesn't matter. You're going to convert this entire written lecture to read aloud. This method works. Whatever is written, you just read. When you read, don't fumble, don't hesitate, don't think about anything else. Just know that you're going to get scores with this method, and just speak. Even if it is wrongly written, one or two words, grammar is missing. King on the jungle. King walks in the jungle. Walk word you missed. King in the jungle. Still, if I write, will I get marks? Don't worry about it. Just speak, because you've already taken down the things from the audio. And now remember, there is no important things in the audio. People think, I forgot to write, or I forgot to mention very, very important key contents. I think that's the reason I lost my marks. Of course, no, the software will not know that. What it needs is anything from the audio. You listen and write, follow this for both Retell lecture and summarized spoken text. You should have a good score. When you speak, don't worry about logic, don't worry about grammar, you just have to speak. Now I will show you a template and a play an audio and take notes and show you how I speak PTE Retell lecture. Alright, this is the template. The lecture discusses in the beginning, or you can replace it with firstly the speaker explained, later the speaker said, here also speaker mentioned, in conclusion the lecture effectively summarized. So this is not mandatory. Remember, this is not giving you scores. I'm just admitting it. What gives you scores is how you speak this. Don't assume I use this template, I'm still getting low scores. It doesn't work that way. What gives you mark is the key content, meaning the sentences that you write inside it, and then how effectively you execute it without fumbles, without hesitations, with crisp clarity in the way you speak. And now most importantly, there are 5 blanks. So how many sentences should I write? 5 sentences should be enough. If it is some maximum amount, let's say some 7 to 8 words, for each sentence should be more than enough. But if you can write more, then write phrases, short phrases, 4-5 words, 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 8 to 10 phrases. The more you write, better marks you get. And how do we write? We will start with this. We will take up one audio, and then we quickly move on to summarize spoken text and take up the same audio. Here we will speak, there we write. We do this for 4 times so that you get most of the practicing thing. You analyze, you understand, you observe as to how I'm doing, and then you're on your own, you can practice with this method. So let's start. Alright, I'm just playing an audio. Let's start. Let's see. You just don't do anything, just observe. I'll give you time for practicing probably from the 3rd audio. Let's start.
New studies reveal that microplastics, tiny plastic particles, are now found in human blood, lungs, and even breast milk. Alarming, right? These particles can cause inflammation, hormonal imbalances, and even increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Inhaling airborne microplastics may also lead to lung damage and respiratory stress. Some research links microplastic exposure to reduced sperm quality and possible effects on infant development. How can we reduce the risk? Avoid microwaving food in plastic containers. Use glass or metal for storage. Skip products with microbeads. Plastic is everywhere, but every small change helps. Protect your health, one choice at a time.
Every small change works, one step at a time. So this is what we wrote, and now we're going to start speaking. The lecture discusses about microplastic and tiny plastic materials that are found in human breast and lungs. In the beginning, the speaker explained about this can cause inflammation, heart attack and strokes, and it may also lead to lung damage, reduced sperm quality and quantity, and infant development. Later, the speaker said about avoiding the microplastic usage, and also hinted that plastic is everywhere. Here the speaker also mentioned about the small changes that actually works in reducing the plastic content, and also advised us to take one step at a time. In conclusion, the lecture effectively summarized microplastic, the plastic materials that are found in human breast and lungs. So this is how we write, this is how we execute. Even if I have written something wrong here, microplastic in human breast, let's say if this is what I have written, on the fly, if you can correct it, you can, but do not compromise on the fluency. On the fly, it is so difficult for me to correct, Nakul, then just continue. The lecture discusses microplastic, tiny plastic materials in human breast, or let's say in is also not there because it is still making sense. The lecture discusses microplastic, the plastic materials, human breast and lungs. You just have to speak. You don't worry too much about the grammar. First of all, don't write something like this, but if you write it, absolutely fine. You just have to maintain the tempo, the rhythm, and continue. Now, how do we convert this to summarized spoken text? This template that I have written is for PTE Academic. I'll show for PTE Core. Similarly, it will be a squeeze template, and this much of sentences are not required for PTE Core. Well, PTE Academic summarized spoken text, you're supposed to write between 50 and 70 words. I would recommend you write anywhere between 63, 65 and above, less than 70. For PTE Core, it's just 20 to 30 words, 27, 28 words you write with the new template that I'm about to unveil. Alright, let's convert this to the summarized spoken text. The lecture discusses about microplastics, which are, now this is where the summarized spoken text gets a bit trickier, because you gotta add some words to make it more grammatically neat, which are tiny plastic particles found in, I'm not sure if it is breast, probably I've missed it, and lungs. It's okay, you can misinterpret one or two. In the beginning, the speaker explained about how these particles can cause. See, I'm adding the word how, probably otherwise it's gonna be grammatically wrong sentence. If you need feedback for all of your summarized spoken text, email writing or whatever, you can join our course. We will help you every day. We have this unlimited feedback. Inflammation, heart attacks and strokes. Later, the speaker said it may also lead to lung damage, reduce sperm quality, and also infant development. Here the speaker also mentioned to avoid microwave usage because plastic is everywhere. Pay more attention how I am doing it, everywhere. Now we will just check how many words we have done. You don't have to write 81 words. Probably I need to remove this. It becomes 72 words. In conclusion, the lecture effectively summarized. We will just see if we can reduce it to less than 70. Effectively summarized that very small change works. If you're thinking this is not coming out correctly, then this is 75 words. If you're thinking it's not coming out correctly, probably you can just remove it off. Absolutely fine, man. 64 words, this is the best way you can get complete 5 out of 5 marks or 6 out of 6 marks from your summarized spoken text to your listening and writing. Now we will also unveil another template for Summarize Spoken Text PTE Core. Similar template, let's say if you've written very less, it's hardly 20-30 words. We've written very less, then you can use this. The talk was about, firstly the speaker talked about, however, it seemed that 3 phrases or 3 small sentences, 28-29 words, done and dusted. But let's say you already have written a lot, then don't use the first template for Summarize Spoken Text PTE Core. You can use the second one. The talk was about, firstly, however, as simple as that. Use the same thing, you don't need to write a lot, even 3 small sentences would work. Summarize Spoken Text for PTE Core is only for 8 minutes. However, the Summarize Spoken Text for PTE Academic is 10 minutes. Accordingly, you will get lesser time because you have to write less number of words. Now we'll take up second question for Retell lecture and Summarize Spoken Text. Let's start. Alright, I'm just playing the audio.
Balancing work and family can be tough, but with the right habits, it's possible. Start by setting clear boundaries. When work ends, switch off emails and focus on loved ones. Use a shared calendar to plan family time, school events, or even short breaks together. Prioritize tasks. Not everything needs to be done in a day. Communicate openly with both your employer and your family. Let them know your limits and when you need support. Don't forget self-care. A healthy mind keeps everything running smoothly. It's not about doing it all. It's about doing what matters most, with presence and purpose.
So we're not able to write much because the audio was a little quicker, but as this much of thing is more than enough. Use calendar to probably, I'm not sure what it is. Now can I write something? You know the audio, a little bit you can add. This was switch off. Email probably after work is what they told. Use calendar to organize things. Probably I'm just assuming and writing. Communicate openly. Well, you will not have this much time for it a lecture. It is about doing with presence and purpose. Let's now start with Retell lecture. The lecture discusses about balancing work and family can be tough, but with right habits, it is definitely possible. In the beginning, the speaker explained about switching off the email after work and using calendar to organize things better. Later, the speaker said not everything needs to be done in a way and communicate openly with your family. Here the speaker also mentioned about it is not about doing it all, but it is more about doing with presence and purpose. In conclusion, the lecture effectively summarized balancing work and family can be tough, but with right habits it is possible. I am just continuously speaking. This much of phrases or sentences more than enough. Now quickly we will convert this to Summarize Spoken Text. The lecture discusses about, simply you cannot copy paste. I'm telling you again, you got to fix if there are mistakes. Discusses about balancing work and family can be tough, but with right habits it is possible. Not much of tweaking is required. The speaker explained about, now you cannot say switch off, explained about switching off the email after work and using calendar to organize things. I'm adding ing, don't ask me why I'm adding ing, it is English, you got to feel it. Explain about doing something, not explain about do something, and calendar AR has to come, sorry on that. And now later the speaker said not everything needs to be done in a way. That's in a way is wrong, some of the word is missing, but is it fine? 100% fine. Said not everything, and also emphasize. You know, I'm now a little bit modifying the template. Communicating properly, because it's English, it's write up, you gotta write a little bit different from what you have taken short notes, and then it is not, it is about, okay, we'll just copy paste this. Here the speaker also mentioned that it is not about doing it all, but about, or I'm going to remove but, sorry, I'm removing about, but doing it with presence and purpose. So this is 76 words. Now we don't have space to add conclusion. Is it fine? 100% fine. It's not like they will remove the marks because you have not written a conclusion. It's 76 words. Now we're gonna remove the spaces. Let's see how much marks it comes, and then we will have to remove something. 76 words, yes. So now we're going to remove something. Here the speaker also mentioned that it is not about doing it all, but doing with presence and purpose. I cannot remove that. The speaker said not everything needs to be done in a way, and communicate openly with your family. 74 words, we're going to remove 4 words more. The speaker explained about, I'm going to remove this in the beginning. The speaker explained about, in the beginning, switching off the email after work and using calendar to organize things can help. 72 words. And then 2 more words. The lecture discusses about balancing work and family can be tough, but with right habits it is possible. We cannot remove that. This is this is where it gets trickier when you write a lot. Later the speaker said not everything needs to be done in a way and communicate openly. Here the speaker also mentioned, I will remove everything. One moment. I'm just removing it and adding. It is not about doing it. 66 words, done and dusted. This is how you do it. We'll quickly move on to the third question. Alright, we move to the third question quickly. Let's start.
Plastic may be convenient, but it comes at a cost. Most plastics take hundreds of years to decompose, polluting land and oceans. Animals often mistake plastic for food, leading to injury or death. Microplastics, tiny broken down pieces, are now found in water, air, and even human bodies. These particles can harm our health by causing inflammation, hormonal issues, and even affecting brain and heart function. Plastic burning releases toxic fumes. Plastic dumping destroys ecosystems. We need to reduce single-use plastic, switch to eco-friendly options, and recycle wisely. Protecting the planet starts with everyday choices. Say no to plastic when you can.
Say no to plastic when you can. Let's increase the font, sorry on that. So plastic dumping, well, you will not have much time since I need it for summarized spoken text. I'm just altering it. Okay, let's first start this. The lecture discusses plastic may be convenient, but it comes at a cost. In the beginning, the speaker explained about plastic sticks for hundreds of years to decompose, and it also ends up in polluting the earth. Later, the speaker said microplastics are tiny broken down pieces that are found in water, air, and human bodies. Here, the speaker also mentioned that plastic dumping destroys ecosystem, so you need to reduce the single-use plastic and switch to eco-friendly options. In conclusion, the lecture effectively summarized, say no to plastic when you can. This is how you speak, and now we will quickly write this down. Plastic may be convenient, but it comes at a cost. That's our first sentence. In the lecture discusses that, we're adding the word that. Plastic may be convenient, but it comes at a cost. First sentence done and dusted. In the beginning, the speaker explained about, now you cannot say explained about it sticks. Explained that, we're gonna little bit modify the template. This is 100% needed depending on the question, depending on the types of sentences that you have written. Explained that it sticks for hundreds of years to decompose, and pollutes the earth. Later the speaker said microplastics, I've written a lot actually. Microplastics are, you gotta write this, are tiny broken down pieces, that are found, or which are found, any of this is fine, in water, air comma is required. Let's fix it properly. Air and human bodies. Here the speaker also mentioned that it causes, we'll just write it quickly. Mentioned that it causes brain and hormonal issues. HO has to come for hormonal, and plastic dumping destroys ecosystem. I think we have written a lot already. No need to add further because it will cross 70 words. It's 69 words. Rest is, you can give it to your favorite god and say thank you and just remove it off. You're gonna get good scores. All right, we go to the last question. Maybe you also can try writing down the notes now. Let's start.
Junk food may taste great, but it's loaded with sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. These ingredients can lead to obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and even mood swings. Most junk foods are low in nutrients and high in empty calories. They trick your brain into craving more while offering little real energy or nourishment. Regular consumption can also affect your concentration, sleep, and digestion. Over time, it damages your body inside and out. Sure, an occasional treat is okay, but relying on junk food daily puts your long-term health at risk. Choose fresh, whole foods instead. Your body and mind will thank you.
Whole food at once, which will thank you. The lecture discusses junk food may taste great but loaded with unhealthy fats. It also leads to obesity and heart diseases. In the beginning, the speaker explained about these junk food will trick your brain to crave more. Later, the speaker said it affects digestion and concentration of your mind as well. Here, the speaker also mentioned that over time, these junk food will damage your body and put your health at risk. In conclusion, the lecture effectively summarized the whole food at once. You need to try the fruit which will thank you. Towards the end, I was not sure what it was because it is not making sense. You apply your brain, I'm telling you, go on case. Because I tried to apply my brain and immediately decided I should not because I'm the one telling you not to use too much of this. Then I immediately switched to being very ignorant and just spoke. Now, maybe you guys can convert this to a proper summarized spoken text and leave in the comments in the comment section. I myself or my team will review it and let you know if you've got it right or not. So I'll just arrange it properly for you. It's junk food may taste great but loaded with unhealthy fats. It leads to obesity and heart disease probably. This is also an art. When you write, you may not write it clearly because you would be in a hurry. You know, when you come back, your job is to understand what you've written and fix it properly, correct? They trick your brain to crave more or craving more. Fix the grammar. It affects digestion and concentration. All right. Overall, it damages your body and put your health at risk. Whole food, I don't know. I thought it is whole fruit at once. But if you want, you can take it or you can ignore it. Last sentence, even I was not clear. Which will thank you, and I'm thanking you for writing this down in the comment section. I really hope this was an informative content giving you more understanding on where you go wrong, what kind of mistakes you do, how to analyze, observe and get the things right. If you believe the video was informative, like, share and subscribe and leave your valuable comments in the comment section. Anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance. You can check the information in the description of this video. We left a WhatsApp link. You can click on the link, send us a message. We will do the needful. Also, I'll just wait for your proper response for summarized spoken text. If you're for PTA Core, you can use the other template. For PTA Academic, use this. Reduce it between 60 to 70 words. Academic. For Core, 25 to 30 words. Alright, this is Nakul signing off. Nakul. Nakul signing off from SKILLS PTE Academic. Soon we'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks much.